Welcome everyone to Spain. We are here for round number 5 of the season out of the 13 races we run in Tier 2 and in this league. And here we go. I am joined by Polo God with me in the commentary booth. Polo God, how are you doing?
Hello, I am fine. Once again, I'm back for another week of hopefully exciting racing at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalonia. It's very sunny out on the racetrack. Everyone putting in some pretty decent lap times so far.
Yeah, let's talk about a few things. This league is now switched to dynamic weather. That's something that's changed in this league. So, you might expect some more rain races. You might expect some less amount of rain races. So, things do change with that. I'm glad to have you on board with us today. Spain, not one of the more interesting tracks, but one of the tracks that can provide some controversy like we saw yesterday in Tier 3 between Data Lucas and Chevy Giant. Those two came to collision in the last lap. I don't know if you saw it or was able to catch it, but those two came to collision, and Chevy Giant actually slowed down just to let him kind of get up to him just in case a penalty was handed out to him, which was actually very respectful, and because of that he kind of didn't get a penalty, obviously not because of it, but he didn't get a penalty because of the incident. It was a racing incident, and yeah, that's the way it ended. What did you think of that Tier 3 race anyway, if you were able to catch any part of it?
Well, I didn't catch much of it, but I saw but the topic of the Data Lucas Chevy Giant incident. I think it was 50-50. I also thought it was a racing incident because of Chevy was kind of ahead of Dada Lucas and he was kind of squeezed off by him. But I don't know, the move might have been slightly aggressive, but it's racing. You have to go for aggressive moves on the last lap, so I honestly think it was a racing incident.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, there's no way it's definitely not a racing incident considering the fact that Lucas kind of pinched him in the green part of the track, and Chevy Giant did kind of stick to the curb. I mean, it's racing in the end, and that's the way it goes. It never ended up like that anyway. So right now we see GSR Silent on the pole position, but let's go over the point standings right now. Hopefully you can tune into the stream or tune into where I am at here. Anyway, this we see. Hold up, let me just refresh screens again. Let me just change it. Okay, that's working now. Anyway, point standings. We weren't able to get up to the constructor standings, but we were able to get up the drivers, and the screen we have now. XO Ryan goes P3. Kagoda leads the standings over Pluto by 19 points with Adam Fav behind him, and Beatnik, the most recent guy who kind of has been really dominant these last two races, comes in with P4 in the standings. Milo P5 in the back there, part of the top of the field, and still kind of close to Kagoda, but not close enough. He's not had the best luck recently, but Milo's been able to kind of stay in these races though and stay in the race. Who in the standings out of this field with the guys in points and what you see on the screen right now? Paul, I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can see it, but who for you is the favorite?
Just looking by the standings, it looks to be Kagoda really gonna dominate, unless GSR Pluto, who did win last week in a very exciting Australian Grand Prix, but Kagoda has been on another level since the start of the season, and I have a feeling he's probably gonna go home and win the championship. Which is kind of sad considering he's Irish, he's Mercedes. You know what's happened in Tier 1 last season. Yeah. But yeah, I actually think Kagoda is going to win the championship.
Yeah, it definitely would be interesting to see because, you know, he was Tier 1 last season, comes into this season battling people like Beatnik and them. So, obviously, yeah, no, my biggest probably shocker or guy who I really find interesting at the front of the field, you know, biggest shocker downside is really Riles and GSR Hamilton. And even GSR Silent. I expected all those guys to do all better. last season champion, back in 7th in points. Red Bull's not doing too well in points, so it's not really helping them whatsoever. Then you also have back there GSR Hamilton, 10 points for him. You know, we saw him contending for race wins last season. He's not done any of that this season except for France. That was his only legitimate chance at a race victory, and he's yet to really have a good chance to do so, as Riles is actually retired from the session as of right now. Yeah, last season champion. You know, you would expect him to do so much better, but he's just not doing as good. And I mean, yesterday in GSR, he had the chance of the race win against GSR Hamilton in the Tier 2 of that league, and he made an aggressive move on a few drivers, and it cost himself the race win. And right now, he's trying to appeal a penalty that he had from yesterday, a 10-second under safety car. And hopefully that does get appealed, I would assume. My other thing with them, GSR Silent, another one. He won Abu Dhabi last season. The thing is with him, focusing on him right now in this lobby, he has great pace. He has shown he could get pole positions. He's shown very well in this league. But the thing is, he's not been able to put a race together correctly. He's just had bad luck, or just got into incidents he should not be in. It's kind of similar to you, like you said to me earlier, Polo God, last season, where you were always having the bad luck or always battling it. It was that's the way it is for Silent, and that's kind of the way it's going for him. Anyway, we have on this list also my guys who I think are shockers, who are in a good way. Oh my God, Squid Jr. doing well, got the podium in Singapore. Utah Elephant almost had the chance at a podium in Singapore. Qualifying pace has not been really well. Race pace has been so much better for him. GSR Thrasher close to a podium in Singapore, and got really great points finishes so far. He's really impressed me because I did not expect him out of the guys here to do very, very well, and he's so far really shown that he can do very, very well. Not only that, behind that, another surprise for me. You know, downside I'd say just XR Ryan, because XR Ryan's not been able to do so well as GSR Silent goes to the pole on Liberty Waited, so I don't have to listen to the music. Oh my God, F1 driver. Anyway, XR Ryan, yeah, not had the best of luck. He had the issue in Bahrain, but he has 1 point on the board. He at least has a point, so he's on the screen right now compared to the guys who have 0 points. So at least he's on the screen, which is a good thing, because you'd rather have some stream time, I guess, if that makes sense. Anyway, let's get to the qualifying session. 2 minutes left in the session, Polo. XB1 yet to set a lap in the Alfa Romeo. He's the only one yet to set a lap. Interesting session so far, wouldn't you say? I mean, back and forth between Silent, Pluto at the top, Beatnik at a point up there. Who do you think is going to take pole position?
Honestly, I think a person who's on the softs is probably going to take pole because, you know, I mean, it's not the optimal strategy. Mediums to hards is definitely the strategy. But some people are going to take the gamble on the softs. XRI and GSR Silent are going for that kind of strategy. But, yeah, I think those two are probably going to most likely get pole. Unless, like, someone like Kigoda or Pluto could set, like, a really, really good lap on those mediums.
Speaking of the mediums, XP goes to P6, and Kagoda also, speaking about him, he goes up to P4, and I believe that's Adam Fav also up there to P3 on the mediums. He's actually the highest guy, I think, on those mediums right now, and this is going to do him well. XR Ryan's been disqualified for going the wrong way.
Oh, that is a massive shame. I don't know what happened there.
Oh, and Beatnik almost hits him. Oh.
He spun and then just couldn't get back onto the track before the game disqualified him. That's really, really unfortunate.
We're going to watch this hot lap from Milo Gaming because he's starting his lap right now. Rapid Stream also on a lap of 10th up in that first sector. Milo Gaming, let's watch at least the first sector. How hard is this first sector, Polo?
It's turn 1 and 2. If you don't have the right setup, you could easily just get absolutely spun. This is the corner where Milo infamously said, "Oh, I spun balls," and it's become a running meme in the racing community, as he's a 10th down on his lap, on his hard lap, and he's almost spun.
Not good for him. Going to turn 5, locking up, and that Williams, now he goes up to the uphill kind of part. In Sector 2, no, he deliberately reversed. Oh, well, yeah, that's what it looked like, but I wasn't too sure. Anyways, Milo Gaming could have gotten valid there, but I think he keeps it clean right now. Heading to Sector 3 this time. Down the back straight, DRS enabled. Heading into 7th gear, almost to 8th gear. Close enough. Braking for Sector 3. 2/10 up. Mr. Hamilton goes P11. Rapid Extreme P12. Only 2 more guys to complete lap. Sync being one of them. Milo Gaming being another. Milo Gaming, almost
kind of
spun
right
it.
to the curb.
Misses the final chicane pretty well and does not get a good lap going from that. And he might not even improve. Where does he go? He's currently sitting 15th. He goes up to 9th. Knocks his teammate down to 12th. Behind that, Sync C1. Yeah, probably will need to retire because he's not on a really lap much at all. So, just are silent. 2 poles this season. 3rd pole for him. That's from what it looks like.
Yeah, Singh is retired.
Interesting from GSR Silent. A different strategy. The soft compound tires. XR Ryan, yeah, deliberately reversed, but does he want to try to start on the softs, mediums, or whatever he has? Anyway. Interesting because Adam Fav Kagoda split kind of Pluto right there. It's so close. It's so close from the medium tires, but from those soft tires, really split 6/10 for the pole position like we saw yesterday. ZZ Boss Play is making his first start in the league, by the way. Filling in for XR Wafer. So let's go over the lineup now. GSR Silent, his 2nd pole the season, 3rd pole in ARL. Adam Fab from Tier 1 last season, looking good in points. He's P2. GSR Pluto, 2nd in points, P3. Kagoda, points leader, P4. Riles, last season champion, rounds out the top 5. Well, definitely a mix of strategies between some people at the front who have good pace. Silent showing you a good pace, but the thing is, that's the question. That good pace, can he turn it into anything? Can he bet on that late race safety car? Can he have luck go his way this time, Polo?
I mean, he's, again, like I said earlier, he's not on the optimal strategy, but I mean, he could make it work if he, like, pulls away from the likes of Pluto, Kagoda, and Riles on those mediums while he's on those quicker softs for the first few laps. But I think his luck will turn around, and I think he will score some good enough points. But he probably won't win the race with the strategy he's on.
I mean, he's got to bet on a late race safety car or something like that. He's got to bet on something. He's shown he has the pace, but considering these guys, how much pace does he really have? Anyway, let's go through the ones to watch for. Callum actually on the hards along with GSR Thrasher. Okay, Polo, I don't remember who gone through the favorites last time. Was it me or was it you who gone through the favorites? I think it was you who gone through first.
Me. Yeah, I went first, so you can go first today.
So it's my turn, yep. So, you know, points leader Kagoda, he looks very strong. I saw in the Mercedes chat last night, him and Beatnik were talking. Those two are teammates. Thing is, his other teammate Beatnik can't really be a wingman today, considering he's not starting that well. Maybe if the pit stops happen, or maybe something like that, we could see a Valtteri Bottas, Lewis Hamilton. These two in the Mercedes team lead the constructors, so obviously things can easily change between them very easily. I want to go with XPilo. XPilo is starting pretty well on the medium tires, and he's had the pace. He's been there in these races, but he's not had the finishes he's wanted. Hopefully he can turn that around and maybe take a podium today. My final favorite, have to go GSR Silent. He's on the other strategy. He's on the softs. He can change something with a late race safety car or just a safety car in general. Something easily can happen, and GSR Silent can take advantage of that, but can he turn his luck around this season? Right at this point of the season. Polo, go through your favorites.
Right, so my first favorite, probably GSR Pluto. He's had a pretty good start to the season. He has some bad luck in a few races, but overall I think he's been solid. He's made some really good comeback drives. Although he's starting P3 today, can he convert that P3 into a win? Who knows? Another favorite. Um, Bit of an interesting one. I'm actually gonna go with Beatnik here. He showed last week that he has incredible pace to fight with the front runners. He can get an absolutely amazing battle with GSR Pluto. I feel like Beatnik could charge through the field here and maybe get a maybe beat him. You never know. This is how interesting this league can be. As my final one is probably never mind. I'll just leave it at 2 since we're starting.
Alrighty, yeah, I was gonna say we probably could have done 2. Anyway, 5 red lights come upon us here in Spain. We rev it up, and it is lights out, and away we go. Adam Fab got a better start, but Pluto splits him 3 wide for a second. Pluto down to the inside, and Pluto side by side with Adam Fab. Silence lost 3 positions, and the Red Bulls gain some positions as he riles to the outside of the Mercedes, and Adam Fab to the race lead this time. Milo, I believe that's the Williams going off, and through turn 3, Silent might have damage. Silent's going wide and clipping the gravel. Side by side with him is Kagoda. Now the Red Bull of Riles charges in on the inside of him. Adam Fab still in the race lead. XB1 getting passed by Beatnik. Beatnik gaining 2 positions. And side by side between Silent and Kagoda, they keep it clean, and everyone else has kept it clean so far in that first lap so far in Sector 1.
Silent actually doesn't have damage.
Looked like he did for a moment with how wide he gone. Maybe he just misjudged it. Yellow flag at the back. That's Sync C1 spun around. Oh, and there goes OPC Patriot having to use the runoff road and now going into the barrier. Now, Pluto Silent goes side by side. These 2 are good mates, and now that could easily change things if, we see anything different. Turn 3 is flat out if you have the right line. Yeah, you got to get the right line. That is correct. Callum actually dropping down the order, and I think he spun. He has. And Xpilo also has spun too. And 1 second, that race lead is between GSR Pluto and Adam Fab. Adam Fab leads the race and leads the first lap. Kagoda's getting close to Silent. Silent getting close to Pluto down the main straight. Into turn 1. Pluto defends. Silent's going to go to the outside. Side by side, Pluto kind of pinching. Silent's there, and he tries it, but Pluto defends with all greatness. And OPC Patriots actually out of the race at the pit lane entry. Well, Kagoda trying to get by Silent. Side by side. Could go to the championship leader. Side by side with Silent still. Solberg gets by Beatnik for P6, that is. And actually, Beatnik has made a mistake somewhere because Beatnik has spun it. He's definitely fallen down the order, so he's had some sort of spin. Rather being a half spin or a full spin. Definitely had gone down the order for sure. Oh, close between Solberg and Milo. Yeah, very close between them. Solberg actually has some damage, and that might be from the contact with Beatnik, possibly. We could have seen something like that happen. Don't know. We'll have to find out. Oh, Utalfin gets very sideways and goes off the racetrack and spins out along with ZZ Boss Plays, who's going to spin right in front of him. And Utalfin resets to the racetrack as we've seen a Ferrari front wing also. And Rapid Extreme also going off the racetrack. Thrasher dives down the inside. Oh, Rapid Extreme spun it again.
Good. Another tragic day for Haas, but
XR Ryan does have to fix a front wing, what it looks like, but also now for P2, P3, P4, it's so close. Xpilo gets passed by Sync. Sync spun on the first lap along with Xpilo. Those 2 at the very back now. Easy Boss Plays trying to keep over Callum. Side by side between Utelefin and Squid. Still side by side. These 2 are teammates in GSR and the Red Bull team. They're in different teams right now, Renault and Alfa Romeo, so these 2 are used to battling each other. Not the first time we've seen that. And side by side, Kagoda and Silent in Sector 3. Not a place to pass, but you can pass anywhere on the racetrack as long as you kind of give each other both room and give equal space. You're able to pass anywhere on the racetrack. Lap 4 now of this race. Adam Fab leads the race. Silent still on the soft compound tires along with Hellcat. How long will they decide to go? Adam Fab actually takes the fastest lap. And here comes Kagoda on Silent down the inside. And Beatnik takes the fastest lap. Side by side through turn 2. And Silent keeps the position. Yeah, just watch. Yeah. Kind of just watch or comment in chat. If you comment in chat at any point in the stream, that's the way to enter. I guess for now we'll keep it like that for the Silent Lens stuff. Just comment in chat at least at one point in the stream. I'm able to go back to comments from the stream, so comment at one point in the stream. You should be fine with that. Anyway, back at P10, Utah Elephant stays ahead of Thrasher, and then Squid and ZZ Boss plays behind that. Calm trying to start to catch up, and XB gets closer and closer to sync. Behind that, Rapid Extreme 17, but Stolberg, XR Ryan, very bad. Well, DRS enabled for GSR Silent on GSR Pluto, trying to look down the inside. Not enough for him. And he's trying everything again. Anyway, we're going to watch from Kagoda. 2.5 seconds at Racing Leaders from Adam Fab. Adam Fab said in Singapore and said in this league, he's probably the most unluckiest driver in this league with the way it's gone ever since he's joined. 1 point, I believe, last season in Tier 2, and Thrasher has actually spun it up the hill, picking up some wing damage. Kagoda on Silent now, P3, looks to the outside, GSR Hamilton takes the fastest lap, makes some contact with Kagoda. They keep it side by side through turn 2. And it is Silent who stays ahead for the time being. Yeah, no, the thing is, with the way Adam Fab said it, Adam Fab is probably the most unluckiest driver in the league, he said. XBLO passes sync. Yeah, XBLO, not XBLO. Yeah, Adam Fab said he was the unluckiest driver here in the league ever since he's joined. He only took a point last season, only 1 point. He had the pace to get maybe more than just 1 point, and he already started the Tier 2 season out pretty bad, and somehow has kept a good points position with the way it's gone. Done really well. He picked up a podium in Singapore and had the chance for one in Australia, but just didn't get it. Right now, he leads the Grand Prix. Kagoda looking on Silent into turn 11. Not enough. Not enough. Riles tries to gain on this. This battle still stays close between second on back, and Beatnik passes Hellcat, who goes off the racetrack. Callum actually passes Easy Boss plays in a place you can't really pass, but he goes around the outside and Callum gets it done. How about that? Well, on this front straight, Polo, again, very close. Kagoda goes down the inside. Kagoda still side by side. And Silent stays ahead again. Great defending from Silent.
Yeah, these two are really battling it out at turn 1. No Chevy Giant Data Lucas recreation yet, but you know I feel like I feel like there's gonna be a crash between these two. Just have that feeling.
It's interesting, especially with Silent and Pluto, that they're running the same cars Norris and Stroll were running in real life. Considering that those two crashed in real life in 2019, it's Grand Prix. So, do we see Kagoda or not? Oh, Kagoda goes wide. Do we see Silent and Pluto have this similar recreation between Stroll and Norris again in real life? This race, I mean, do we see it? We kind of saw it with Chevy John and Lucas or Data Lucas though.
I mean, it's a thought, but again, I mean, it could happen, but if Silent, like, I don't know, if Silent's probably going to start falling off, so I think he won't really keep
Hamilton!
up with, Silent actually goes into pits. It's Hamilton spins. Where is he? No.
Back in P8, he was up there. He had an issue, or he cut a corner. I don't know what it was, but yeah, like you said, GSR Silent pits along with Hellcat on those soft tires. Something they probably needed to do. Milo Gaming gets close to GSR Riles for P4. Still stay close. Turn 3. Not close enough for an overtake, though. So Thrasher trying an XR Ryan. XR Ryan in AI. Down in P18. Just a Thrasher gets by, and there's a yellow flag. It is Utah Elephant who spun through turn 3, and he collects Callum! Oh, that was a bit dangerous. And do we see a safety car from this? We do see a VSC, actually. That was...
That was a
similar?
pretty poor re-entry from Joe. I think
yesterday,
that's Joe's fault.
I mean, we saw an incident between GSR Pluto and Tier 2 of GSR with Squid Jr. That I commentated. Squid Jr. let GSR Hamilton go, then came back, as Stroll would say, in front of the circuit like an idiot. Right back in front of him. That was similar to that, I'd say. I mean, he just re-entered the racetrack the wrong way. Callum was there. I mean, do you think if there was anything they could do? I mean, really? I don't know.
Really,
That's
Joe.
tough.
Joe kind of, or Joe, whatever. He kind of just rejoined the track really, really dangerously. Callum was coming, like, kind of just rejoined on the racing line. I think, that's probably Alpha's fault. We go
Silent
green
runs
flag
in the back
running.
of Sync right there. I don't know if that picked up some wing damage. He'd gone through him. He ghosted through him. Game doesn't give him a penalty, but Beatnik is side by side with GSR Hamilton. 4P6, and Beatnik gets ahead. And Silent is by Sync. A little bit of lag from them too. GSR Hamilton still trying to charge back at it. GSR Callum pits from that. And yeah, worse than what I did last week, F1 driver says. Australia. Oh yeah, on the chicane, out of the chicane. Trying to think for a minute. That looked very intentional, Axe said. Yeah.
Maybe those two collided.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was anything like that. I would not be surprised. Yeah, I really wouldn't. Well, Milo Gaming still trying to charge in Riles. Riles charging a little bit on Kagoda, gaining just a little, but not enough. ZZ Boss Plays making his first start. He pits the position he was in, the soft tires. Thrasher gaining on Callum. Rapid Extreme gaining on Hellcat. Rapid Extreme and Hellcat collided last week in Australia. Rapid Extreme has some wing damage. It's not going to help him at all. So, ZZ Boss Place is the only one as we hit lap 9. He's the only one in the soft compound tires. We have a yellow flag. That is Sync. And he reverses. This time reverses the right way compared to his teammate. Never mind. He comes right back in front of the racetrack instead of Rapid and Hellcat. A little bit too early to speak right there because he kind of comes right back in front of the track in front of Rapid Extreme and Hellcat. And he's going to pit.
Yeah, it's not been the best day for Renault.
Nor Haas.
Especially considering no Haas, yeah. I think, yeah, rejoined the track slightly dangerously when Rapid was coming through.
I mean, with the way it looked with Utah Elephant, I'm not going to try to say it was intentional, or I'm not going to try to say anything mean about it, but it looked like with him trying to go left, he tried to get out of the way, but it's so hard through heading to turn 3. You can't really get out of the way he tried to. Nice one.
I'm wondering. I don't know if it kind of looked deliberate, but I think he was actually trying to move out of the way, just he couldn't do it in time. But
No.
still, I think there will probably be a penalty for Utah for next race.
Yeah, that's what I would assume. Anyways, yellow flag
As
again.
Thrasher spins.
P15 for Thrasher. Going to get passed by 2 cars here. XR Ryan and Sync being both of them. And positions trade between GSR Riles and Milo into turn 1. Riles dives down the inside as Milo locks up. And through turn 2, Milo doesn't spin it this time, but he keeps it going. Should have held his line in the middle. But then again, it's a bad spot anywhere he goes. Yeah, I know. I mean, he couldn't really do much about it, but what penalty would you assume? Although I would assume a 3 or 5 second line. I don't think it was that bad, because he was kind of put in a bad position.
Probably a 5-second, or maybe even a quali ban. I don't know. I'd say either of those two would probably be the best possible penalty for Joe.
As we see the Beatnik and Hamilton battle continue, along with the Riles and Milo battle continue. Beatnik catches up to Riles and Milo a little bit. He's slightly gaining. Sync gets by Ryan. They're kind of going ghosting. Playing that little fun game. And Riles 7/10 between him and Milo, keeping it close. And now GSR Hamilton and Beatnik have gained on them. Beatnik's actually got DRS on them. So this is what makes it interesting. Beatnik is able to get the DRS and yellow flag. I believe that's Sync, and it is Sync.
Sync, yeah.
Had a really bad race. And I think he picks up more wing damage. He's really starting to struggle. Oh, through turn 3, Hamilton gaining on Beatnik. Made a look down the inside. Not enough, obviously, to make a move. It's too far back. Pagoda gaining on Pluto, the championship leader. But we've not really spoke too much about the race leader as much. We spoke about Adam Fav earlier, but 3.2 seconds between the gap for the race lead between Adam Fav and Pluto. Really impressive so far. Really great start from him. You think he can go on to win this race, Polo? I mean, it looks like a good chance he could, but is it enough with the way it could go? I mean, we could easily see a safety car. We've seen a VSC from Utah Elephants incident, but I mean, you don't know what could happen.
Oh, Sync's retired. But yeah, I think like Adam Fav is kind of pulling away from these guys. Like these guys battling is really helping them out. I think Adam Fav will probably go on for the win. I can't jinx anything yet. As Kagoda gets past GSR Pluto, yeah, it could probably it's pretty much Adam Fav's race to lose, unless he spins, which is obviously possible around here. But I think his bad luck will end today.
Well,
he'll probably get the win here.
4 of 5 races. It could possibly be 4 of 5 races. We see 4 different winners. 4 of the 5 races, 4 different winners. We could possibly see that. You know, we've seen 3 different winners in 5 races in tier 3 and 2 of the 4 races in tier 1. 2 of the 4 races, 2 different winners. So obviously, that can easily change today with Adam Fav today. Milo Gaming runs in a decent position though, but not close enough for Pluto. Obviously, he's holding off Riles and Beatnik and Hamilton for the time being. Hamilton, let's see the positions gained. Milo's gained 5, hitting his Rapid Extreme. 5 gained for GSR Hamilton, 7 gained for Squid, and 9 lost for Silent, and 4 lost for Rapid Extreme. 6 gained for XR Ryan also. Oh, pitting. Or the front 6 guys.
Hang on, the Red Bull boys are double stacking. Will this work out?
It might just work out. Obviously Riles will have to wait, but it just works out just a little bit instead of staying out an extra lap. He's gonna be behind Beatnik, and Silent comes out right near Pluto. So Silent might have to stop again, but does he expect to go the full way on mediums? I don't know.
No, he pitted really early. He's probably gonna go on to another set of mediums to the end.
I was expecting softs. I mean, depends how far they go. And Hellcat gets sideways behind Salberg for P10. 16 people watching right now. Anyway, the guys who pitted, who were on the medium tires, go onto the hards. They expect to make it the whole race. And maybe bet on the late race safety car for soft tires. Maybe Silent expects to do the same thing along with Hellcat. Maybe they do. The only thing I can expect. You know, you want mediums to the end, but you'll have better tires than guys such as the guys in hards. Could go to pits from the race lead, and Milo comes into the pits also. GSR Hamilton stays out. Oof.
Kind of has to with Milo pitting.
Don't want to pull a Red Bull team where they've double stacked. This is not the first time they've double stacked this season. They double stacked a lot under the safety cars the past few weeks, so obviously that doesn't work out too well. And obviously, you need to be in a party with your teammate if you really want to work together and make it work out. Kagoda pitted a lap later than him, and we see McLaren. Someone is spawned. I believe that's Callum. It is.
Yeah.
Now, Silent is close to these guys. Squid Jr., Kagoda, Pluto close again. Silent behind these guys. Squid yet to pit. Pagoda, Pluto on hards. They've pitted already. They've during the 1-stop. Silent doing the 2-stop possibly. He's pitted already. Thrasher, 3-second time penalty. But the gap between Adam Fav and Kagoda is now actually closer than I thought. It's 3.7 seconds, so he's only lost really 3 or 4 tenths, I think. Am I correct, Polo? Only 3 or 4 tenths?
Yeah, he hasn't lost really too much time to these guys. Looking at it. And
Squid and Kagoda. Kagoda
yeah.
switches back.
Yeah, Squid's kind of holding up these guys, which is going to benefit Milo here. He's going to try and push and catch up to Silent and all that.
Ooh, checking up Hamilton pits from the race lead. So where does he come out compared to his teammate Milo Gaming? Milo Gaming, Beatnik, and Riles are all close again, but I don't necessarily expect them to be too close again with GSR Hamilton. Kagoda goes by Beatnik and does Pluto look for double overtake. Pluto and Squid go side by side again, and now it ends the right time with the right thing. With Pluto ahead this time. Hamilton comes out. He's coming out ahead of Riles. And Riles, he was what, 6th or 7th? I mean, he kind of loses 3 positions from this whole situation. So it doesn't really help him.
Yeah, I think he should have stayed out.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have put it.
Obviously he didn't know, because I know he's not in a party with his teammate. I know the people he's usually in a party with. The Riles fan club, he's always in a party with, cheering him on. Hopefully if we see any Riles fan club in the chat, hopefully that'd be nice. We usually see some Riles fan club people in the chat. I've seen it in GSR, I've seen it last season ARL. Everyone loved Riles. Riles fan club in the chat, hopefully we see him again. No, I mean, the thing is with that, you know, he's usually in a party with them, so I don't think he's in a party with Adam Fab. I would not expect him to be. Considering they double stacked. They've double stacked so many times this season that it might cost them constructors points, and with the way the constructor settings look, they don't look too well. Yellow flag. That's Hellcat out of the race, VSC.
Yeah, he's gone off with the... He probably went off at turn 10, I believe it is, and then he just completely pinned it.
So Silent and Squid, their opportunity to pit, this actually helps him a lot. Squid was back in P10, I would say, P9, P10, where he was, kind of, considering Silent stuff. So really, this helps Squid a ton. Solberg pits. Oh, he almost hits the barrier. That was pretty close.
Pretty sure Silent is pitted for another set of mediums. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Can they go to the end? No, I don't think they can.
You better hope they do. Boss plays, penalty for him. We go back to the green flag. Here comes Pluto on Kagoda. Diros is enabled. Beatnik trying a Milo. Milo locking up. Yeah, even Axe, the team leader, said why'd he put on mediums? Which makes no sense, but you know what? He's really going to be betting on another VSC or another safety car at this point. He's going to have to. We've only seen 2 VSCs so far. You could easily see another safety car. Easily. Silent and Squid actually come out P8, P9 ahead of XB1. And they're not far behind Riles compared to where I thought they'd be. Oh, this is the gap for the leader. To everyone else. Ooh, Adam Fab hopping over the curb a ton.
And sorry to cut in there. Squid Jr. and Silent had a bit of a coming together there. Kind of cost Silent a bit of time, so this strategy might not work for him. He's now being held up by a much slower Alfa Romeo
Alfa Romeo sandwich.
Yeah.
You see it right here. Silent gaining on Squid into turn 1. Down the pit straight. Where does he go? He goes to the left side. Side by side into turn 1. Squid does not keep ahead. Silent is now ahead. And now he gets himself out of the Alfa Romeo sandwich. And now the Alfa Romeo teammates see each other on the racetrack with XPilo and Squid. Well, gap to the leader. Raptor Team, ZZ Boss plays a minute behind. XR Ryan, Callum, and Thrasher almost a minute behind. So they better be hoping on something to happen. They better be hoping for another safety car. Not actually a VSC, an actual safety car this time. They better be hoping on something like that to happen, because they can't just rely on gaining points for points. Gaining stuff for points if people go out of the race, such as the guys in front. You've got to rely on safety car at this point.
Yeah, Rapid Extreme, bit of a word on him. He's kind of been really, really unlucky this season. Then he got caught up in the when you tall up in spot, he just got caught up in it and got damaged. He hasn't had the best luck this season. He's in Bahrain. He's definitely showed he has decent pace, but he just hasn't been consistent enough. And hasn't really suffered this season because of it.
Yeah, I mean, we did not expect Mercedes to be the #1 favorite this season. They lead the constructors by almost over a race. I expected, really, to be honest, Red Bull, Williams, McLaren to be the main favorites, and the Mercedes just to be right there with them, but not necessarily the #1 or #2 favorite. I expected Williams and Red Bull. I did not expect Mercedes to be as dominant as they are so far. Obviously, preseason does not show crap at all. We know that for sure. Just like real life, where Mercedes can sandbag and be 10 seconds slower, and then just somehow win every race in the season. So, I mean, preseason shows nothing. Anyways, yeah, Rapid Extreme, yeah, like you mentioned, really unlucky this season. I don't even think he's picked up a single point. Well, no, he has actually. Let me check the points here.
Pretty sure he
Rapid
scored
Extreme,
points in Bahrain.
yeah, Bahrain was the only race I think he scored points, and he scored 1 point somewhere else. He has 11 points in 12th place, but definitely not where we expected him to be, because he's had 4 podiums this past season, a best finish of 2nd, and beat his teammate before OPC Patriot back in Austria. It's not going too well for him. He's running outside the points. He's going to have to hope on a safety car, because they got really lucky in Bahrain with the late race safety cars. They needed it. And heading into turn 1, Beatnik on Milo down the inside. Not enough. Yeah, Rapid Extreme, if you're him right now, as we're halfway through the race, you gotta bet on a late race safety car. That's the only thing you gotta bet on this race. Because of the fact he put on soft tires at the end of the race at a time where it may have not lasted the end, but it somehow did. And he put on soft tires at the end of the race. He came from about outside the points to 5th with all the late race drama, and because of that, that's what got him the 10 points he needed. And right now, he has 11 points with him. Points, I believe, was back in France. Oh, I'd have to check. I don't remember off the top of my head. So obviously, 11 points by Rapid Extreme. Behind Hellcat, behind some of the guys he beat last season in standings. So, not gonna. He's gonna sit back in the 14th this season. Definitely not looking good for Haas at all. Don't think they're last. I know Racing Point is, but Racing Point, don't want to curse anything. Silent's running in a decent position. Boss plays not so well for him, making his first start as a reserve, so things can change easily. Things can change easily. We've seen it before. Beatnik gaining on Milo, heading down the pit straight, and here we go into turn 1. DRS enabled. Milo very low on ERS, and here comes Beatnik to the outside, side by side with Milo, and he gets by Milo. So Ryan goes in the grass actually for P16. 4 drivers out of the race already. We have 14, 15 laps to go around that area. Laps to go. Do we see a late race safety car? I mean, do you think we do, Paulo?
Honestly, a late race safety car would definitely make this race a lot more entertaining. Late race safety cars are probably the most intense part of a race, because it's just absolutely unknown who's gonna come out on top on it. We saw Bahrain Tier 1, Bahrain Tier 2, kind of. There was just a load of drama all throughout the field. And if a safety car came out here, I think there'd be more drama. Because Turn 1's a very, people are going to try and make very aggressive moves into Turn 1, which is a very, very tough place to overtake. But if there is a late race safety car, then you can count on it being very, very intense for the last few laps.
Yeah. Another thing that decides late race safety cars in late races because of it is penalties. There could be easily penalties difference. We're going to check penalties right now. Adam Fav, no warnings whatsoever. Kagoda, no warnings. This is insane. Pluto has a penalty, though, so that might hurt him. Beatnik, no warnings. Milo Gaming has 2 warnings. GSR Hamilton has 3 warnings. Riles has nothing. Silent has just a warning. XP Low has no warnings. Squid has a warning. So It's only Pluto through the top 10 who has penalties as of right now. Oh, Milo Gaming gets a bit sideways and almost loses it off of, I believe that's turn 10. Almost lost it through there. And that's going to allow his teammate, JSR Hamilton, who's not really had a perfect race this season, to gain on him. Hamilton, where do you expect him to shine, Polo? What do you expect his best race to be?
Honestly, I think it's gonna be at a track where he's really shined that in other leagues. Like in GSR, literally last night, he came from P15 to win the race in very dramatic circumstances. But that's all he gets sideways.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, man.
We saw what he did in Belgium in GSR. He pretty much almost repeated around wherever he almost lost it.
Yeah, Britain for me, I think is the race I want to say. For him. I just think Britain, you know, he's so good there. Like, his race pace is so well. He gets so much done there. And we see Thrasher actually out of the race in front of the field. Will that cause a safety car? What do we see right now? Yellow flags on the racetrack. Nothing as of right now. And we see a VSC. All we've seen is VSCs. Yeah. That's, wow. Only VSCs. That's it. That's all we've seen so far. Not even a safety car for that. He's considering.
That's a bit ludicrous. There's been a load of collisions today. I would expect a safety car by now.
Yeah, no way. No way we're gonna finish this race with no safety cars. I don't see it happening. I don't care who it is. I don't care who you think it is. Thinking, oh yeah, we're not gonna see. No, we are gonna see a safety car. I can guarantee that, because we're not gonna have just. We had it yesterday in tier 2 or tier 3, sorry. And we've had so many cars DNF'd on the racetrack. Like, literally on the middle of the racetrack. So, how can you kind of do that? Like, how can you kind of just deal with that? You know, it's a VSC. We come back to green. DRS is enabled. And Milo Gaming gaining on Nick Hamilton, trying to gain on him. Yeah, safety cat. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, Polo, but I just don't expect the VSCs to keep coming out. I at least see another safety car. There's no way.
I mean, there's gonna be a safety car. There's been a lot of spins, a lot of people being on the racetrack dangerously, taking people, as we saw earlier. As Callum's in the pits, he was the unfortunate victim of Utah Elephant. He goes on to softs, I think, or is it mediums? That's mediums, never mind. Looks like softs for a second. Not really on-track battles here.
Yeah, I mean, we don't see battles close enough. We see XR Ryan still close to boss plays. XR Ryan's had some bad luck this season, too. It's really been unfortunate for him and a lot of guys this season. Not really had the chance to do anything good. Not really had the chance to shine, because they've always been involved in issues, or other people's issues, that they just couldn't really, you know, show that they've been a part of. And, well, Silent, does he go to the end in the mediums, though? Polo, does he? I mean, Solberg's gonna have to, too, at this point.
I mean, the VSC might have helped him with the tire wear a little bit. Maybe that had it helped him save, yeah, like I said, save his tires a little bit. And I think, again, it's
yellow flag.
Oh, the yellow flag. I think it's Z-Boss plays. It's fun.
And he's going backwards on the racetrack to try to spin it back around. He can't really do that. He's got to wait for the cars.
Going by.
Yeah, it's not good. And he's got to wait again for GSR Riles. And he's got to wait again for his teammate. Oh my god, he's going to get a 10-second
Hamilton has a penalty.
I would assume. Yeah, I'm surprised that didn't at least cause a VSC, at least, for how long that car was sat there. He lost a total of 30 seconds from it, and he spun again. Milo Gaming takes a penalty.
Most likely his race. Yeah, this is race definitely over.
Beatnik and him, side by side into turn 1. Beatnik ahead, Milo Gaming locking up and actually losing
Milo
the
goes
rear end.
sideways.
Now his teammate has his chance to gain, and we might see a Williams battle. The battle between the two toothpastes.
Yeah, that could be
Let's see.
interesting, because remember last week, those two actually collided.
Yeah. For a lower points position. Now they're in the higher points positions, so doesn't really help. He's been initiated into racing pointless. Congratulations. Oh man, the racing pointless jokes are good. They're X. Well, yeah, Racing Point has not had the best luck this season for sure in Tier 2. Only a matter of 2 points. Silent might double that maybe with 4 points today. I mean, but it's looking like you never know. Well,
I think he will score points considering if he has to pit again.
Milo! How close he was to spinning through there. I don't know how he'd save that. I thought he was going around, but ABS off really helps that, doesn't it? Holy cow. And his chance at DRS and Beatnik doesn't even help him because he's not even within DRS range. Now Hamilton gains on his teammate Milo for position. They're gaining and gaining and gaining. Milo has a lot more straight line speed with DRS being lower, but still stays behind Beatnik and Hamilton stays behind him. Well, we see Adam Fav leading over Kagoda. Do we expect to see a battle soon? I mean, Adam Fav is gaining on lap cars. 1.6 seconds. Could we see a battle here, Polo?
Yeah, Kagoda's actually massively gaining on Adam Fav. I think if Kagoda wasn't in that battle of the yellow flag, he wasn't in that battle. I think it's Hamilton. He slowed down. I think he made a mistake.
Oh man.
He must have made a major mistake. He's after losing so much time.
Turn 3, turn 4, I would assume he made a mistake or made contact with Milo. Could have been that. Yeah, I wasn't catching that because I was focusing on Kagoda and Adam Fav, which, speaking of that, the lap cars aren't really getting out of the way, even though they're ghosted. XR Ryan's been ignoring the yellow flag, so has Callum, and, wow. Yeah, 1.2 seconds now. Callum makes contact with XR Ryan. Gets out of the way. XR Ryan fighting Adam Fav, but now gets out of the way. 1.2 seconds that gap is for the race lead. Adam Fav looking for his first win here in ARL. Can he do it? With just a matter of 7 laps left in this race.
It's going to be interesting because now Kagoda is massively gaining. It's going to be interesting. If Kagoda wasn't in that battle with GSR Pluto earlier in the race, would he be... I think he would have been in this battle with Adam Fav by now. And will that cost him the chance of a race win? I know... I gotta look at penalties again.
Well, I want to mention something. Kagoda actually had some lap cars in the way. Now he still has Callum in the way. Callum and XR Ryan are free to race because they're battling for a position. They're battling for P13. If a safety car comes out, they might be in the mix for points. So think about it. They don't really have to move out of the way too much. They're battling each other in case a safety car comes out, and they might be able to unlap themselves because a safety car can come out. Like I said, Boss Place takes the fastest lap, and Kagoda had the lap cars in his way, which was a distraction. Now the gap is 1.2. Originally was 1.6 at the start when Callum and XR Ryan got passed by Adam Fav.
Yeah, and I just saw on the penalty stuff, Adam Fav has 2 warnings.
Oh. Probably caused by the lap cars, I would assume. I'm gonna guess. I mean, yeah, 2 warnings in 1 laps. Yeah, 2 warnings in 1. Yeah, that's not good.
No, they were both exceeding track limits, so yeah, he has 2 warnings. If he gets another one, he has a penalty.
Yeah, it could have been because of lap cars, though, because they could have affected him. Anyways, Milo and Beatnik go side by side through turn 2. Don't repeat what Dada Lucas and Chevy Giant did, but they try to keep it going side by side again through turn 3. They can't keep it going side by side. No way. Milo stays behind Beatnik for P4. Well,
yeah, these two have been really scrapping this whole race.
I want to mention last season, Adam Fav, he got demoted to Tier 2. The guys who are running 1-2 were the guys in Tier 1 last season. Let's keep that in mind. Okay? Well, the thing is, last season, Adam Fav only scored 1 point in Tier 1. Kagoda last season scored a total of 14 points. 15 points together in Tier 1 last season. 1.1 seconds is that gap. Solberg takes a penalty, and we see DRS might be enabled, just might, between Kagoda and Fab, and it is enabled this time through the front straight. Oh boy.
The battle begins.
Here we go. 5 laps to go this time in this race. This is the way it looks. Adam Fav, Tier 1 demotion to Tier 2. Wow. What can I say? Adam Fav only a point last season. Kagoda, 14 points. Those two kind of were denied of many good finishes. Adam Fav, a 10th place at Canada, I believe it was. And Kagoda, 5th place at USA, were their best finishes. They were denied. Also want to mention GSR Pluto, if Felipe does not make it to the Tier 1 race tomorrow, GSR Pluto, who was originally a Tier 1 reserve, will be racing that Tier 1 race tomorrow. So he's doing double duty. How about that?
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Racing with the... it's going to be interesting with Pluto racing with the likes of Boker, Rapalucas, myself. I wonder how he's going to fit into that bunch of quick drivers that, while he's doing pretty decently in Tier 2, I wonder how that's going to move over to Tier 1 if he does race tomorrow.
I mean, anything in these late laps can change. You don't know. A safety car could come out. A VSC, which actually may cost Adam Fab if he, is too slow or anything like that under the VSC. Rapid Extreme pits from P12. Milo Gaming and Beatnik still close for P4. This is a battle for P4. Beatnik not going to be on the podium this time by the looks of it, unless GSR Pluto's penalties change. I think Milo Gaming also has a penalty too, so it might not matter. Kagoda is gaining on not Beatnik. Kagoda is gaining on Adam Fab, and into turn 1, that gap was 8 tenths. Now it's 3 tenths. And the better ERS is Kagoda over Adam Fab. Adam Fab needs to save some, maybe for the later stages of the race if he wants to have a chance to hold him off. Or even if Kagoda gets back by him, he might want to save some. I mean, Kagoda might be the faster car, but in the same time, if Pluto races, he will fight with the top guys. Yeah, we've seen in the GSR JSC event, he was fighting with Boker and some of the other guys. Impressive from him considering he's a Tier 2 driver. He was fighting with Sam Seed the whole race. You just got to keep it clean, and you got to have a good race if he's replacing Felipe. That's what is expected as of right now, and Kagoda was a bit sideways there through turn 8, I believe it was. And Adam Fab keeping this lead as we come to 3 laps to go.
It's going to be a very intense last few laps, because Adam Fab must be really feeling the pressure now, because he's making a few mistakes, and while Kagoda is being absolutely flawless, I also think Adam Fab could make a very fatal mistake and get him a penalty.
Adam Fab said before Singapore, he's the unluckiest driver in this league. He said it himself. He's the unluckiest driver in this league. Now you see him fighting for a race win and weaving down the straight. Here comes Kagoda into turn 1 on the pit straight. Kagoda down the inside.
He goes to the right.
Side by side. Adam Fab ahead. And now switches back. Kagoda keeping it with the traction. And now side by side, Milo Gaming Beatnik fighting. And Kagoda does not get past just yet. We're seeing a great battle between our hands, between the two guys who got demoted to Tier 2 this past season into this new season.
This is really intense. Adam Fab made a really great defensive move into turn 1. I didn't expect him to break so late, and he keeps the position.
Well, we're coming to 2 laps to go this time. Adam Fab is using the ERS, but he's not using it enough because he knows he has to save the ERS in order for him to stay in front. 3 tenths is that gap. If there's one place he needs to just use the ERS, it's down that long straight. He almost makes a mistake right there, and that might cost him the race win if he makes that same mistake again. Could go a bit sideways, and we could see the Irish driver extend that championship lead in that Mercedes. And Mercedes sure will. Oh my, lag.
There's lag.
Okay. Adam Fab stays ahead though for the time being. 6 tenths is that gap. And now Kagoda is going to extend his championship lead if he can keep it the way it's going. Pluto has a penalty, so that won't change too much things. And no ERS for really any of them. 2 laps to go. Another great battle we can see in our hands too. Just like
Kagoda needs to try and get a good run out of the final corner. Gotta move. This is gonna be a really intense final 2 laps.
Yeah, I
for
mean, we've
the
seen
race win.
Tier 2 have the most competitive racing this season. Adam Fab yet to win a race in ARL. I know I keep saying it, I'm probably going to curse him by saying that, but 17 people are watching this battle, and they're wanting to know who's going to win this race. DRS enabled for Kagoda, better ERS by a ton, and into Sector 3, we have 4 sectors to go. Who wins this, Polo? Who wins this?
I actually have no idea. This,
I don't want to predict too
think
early.
I don't want to predict. Like you said, I don't want to predict too early. But if Kagoda gets the move done into turn 1, I think he's got it. But he gets a really poor run in the final corner, losing a bit of time. But he has DRS. Is he gonna go for the
Losing
move?
that, yes. Now in the pit straight into turn 1. Here we go. Kagoda gaining on Adam Fab and into turn 1. Down the inside he goes, just like another last lap battle between yesterday, side by side, and Adam Fab stays ahead, but contact with Kagoda. Adam Fab is ahead for now. Almost the recreation of Chevy Giant and Data Lucas yesterday. Now it's Mercedes and Red Bull battling it out. 2/10 is the gap between 1 and 2, and they keep it this way. XR Ryan taking the fastest lap on the last lap. He might just get an extra point that he needs this season. Now, Kagoda, his one last chance, I think, is that final chicane, if he is close enough, or even Sector 3, the start of it. He needs to have a good run. Adam Fab trying to win his first ARL race. He can't pick up a penalty. Here comes Kagoda! Down the inside!
Here he comes!
Oh, pinching
this
him,
contact,
and side by side! They're making contact, and they're keeping it side by side. How?
How are they not? How one of them not done?
Adam Fab holding on.
The
pressures really came to him. Adam Fab, final time through the last corners.
Will he get a late race penalty? No, he
quote
won't.
unquote, the unluckiest driver in ARL finally wins an ARL. Finally, Adam Fab gets it done with the closest race victory.
That was incredible. Adam Fab.
Wow.
Absolutely phenomenal defending by him. He really pushed those last few laps.
He really did. Milo Gaming comes back after some bad luck with P5. Beatnik and on the podium again. GSR Pluto's joined the party. Wow. What a last lap that was. XR Ryan, a 5-second time penalty. And wow. Wow. What a race that was on the last lap. P5 cuts last corner to gain on Squid side by side. Ooh. Solberg goes around in the last lap trying to battle Squid. Solberg cut the corner and tried to
reverse across the line. But Silent actually went 15 laps on the mediums. And he actually got P8.
What a race. You don't think Spain provides that great racing? Holy cow, what have we seen? Incredible racing between the two guys who got demoted to Tier 2 last season. Adam Fab, Kagoda. Before we interview you guys, and make sure you include your audio, what did you both think of that, though? What have you guys got to say before we interview?
I'm amazed.
Yeah. A couple bits of contact, but very aggressive on the defending, like. I mean,
yeah.
Jeez.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Just for play.
I thought I'd lost it when Pluto's teammate came out the pits. I made a mistake when that happened, but yeah.
Hey, I mean, you guys got the race win. You got the race win for you, Adam Fab, for the first time in ARL. You get to see the checkered flag. Okay, I've got to ask. Last season, 0 points until Canada. You picked up 1 point Canada season. That was your only point last season in ARL up until this point of the demotion to Tier 2. How about that now? You finally win a race. You finally, as Kimi Räikkönen would say, effing finally.
I'm pleased, I've been waiting. Yeah, I've done. This race, coming into it, I didn't think it'd be my best, but it has been. I didn't expect that at all, but really happy. Redemption for Bahrain.
For sure. For sure. The wait is over. For sure. what have you got to say about that battle between you and Kagoda? You two almost crashed a few times. It was lucky enough not to. How did you guys keep that so clean?
I don't know. Skill from both of us.
F1 driver says the Maldonado win. Yeah. I mean, with unluckiness, yeah, I could say so. I mean, not with the crashing, but yeah, I mean, I could say that. Anyway, Red Bull picked up their first win last time out in Tier 1 in Australia. You pick it up for Red Bull's first win in Tier 2. You guys double stacked with you and Riles. What did you think about your teammate's race today? He finished P6 if I'm correct.
I think he had a great race. To say how hard the track is to stay with people, the train he was in at the back of it the entire race until the last couple of laps, I think he did really well to keep that. And we're both proud. We're both very proud of each other.
Yeah. Axe says, props to Kagoda for trying those moves, and props to Adam Fab for the good defending. Awesome stuff from them. Yeah, that was amazing. I don't know what to say about that. That was actually incredible. Well, I've got to ask you, Adam Fav. We saw a lot of people crashing out of the race a few times. We saw crashes happen. We saw that, and we thought, oh boy, a safety car. When is it gonna come out? We kept seeing VSCs. Were you worried about a safety car at any point in this race?
Definitely. But I knew I couldn't hold Kagoda for 10-15 laps. I knew he would get me eventually. It's a good time it was only VSCs, not safety cars. If it was safety car, I think I wouldn't have been able to do it.
Well,
so yeah, I'm very grateful.
The wait is over, and you get to celebrate finally with the race win. And these two will have some great battle at the better tracks for overtaking. Agreed with you right there, Axe. Agreed. Yeah, how did you defend so well? And how do you look into Hungary?
Hungary in the past has been a decent track for me if you take out my mistakes. So I'm looking forward to that race. And I think ending I do a lot of practice with Sam Steed, who's really aggressive on diving down the inside, so I know how to defend from him, so I know how to defend from quite a lot of things that have been thrown at me. So that's it.
Yeah, amazing battle for the last laps. Spain, out of all places, Spain? Oh my god.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm saying that. Yeah, big congratulations to you on the race win. Polo God, do you have any questions for Adam Fav?
No, not really. Just want to say absolutely congratulations on it. That was incredible. That last lap was just intense. And your defending was absolutely incredible. So congrats on the win.
Thanks, and good racing, Kagoda.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah, Kagoda, it's your turn now. P2 for you. You tried everything possible. You threw everything at Adam Fav with overtaking and everything you had to try to catch him. You threw everything you could, and it couldn't be done. But you guys battled out so great. What a battle that was. Make sure your audio is included. How about that?
Okay. Yeah, a couple thought, there's no way I'm going to catch him. Like, especially the VSCs kind of give me less time to catch him. But, yeah, I thought I could have got him under the DRS, down that second straight after the right-hander. And he defended very well. But, yeah, just didn't have enough.
Yeah, man, I've got to say, you looked like you had the race won with the overtaking. You were trying everything you could at him. Turn 2, turn 1, turn 3, sector 3. You tried everything you could. When did you think it was over, though?
After the back straight, like you can't really overtake in the sector 3. It's just a bit too narrow. Yeah.
Oh my God, you keep the championship lead, you extend it, but a podium for you today? I don't even know if you expected that. How do you look into Hungary?
Um, Hungary is probably one of my worst tracks, so I knew I definitely had to get a good result in Spain for the championship. Just in case Pluto got like a win or something, or anyone who's close behind. But yeah, I'm definitely going to practice a lot for Hungary. I'm not too great there.
Congratulations on P2. What an amazing battle that was. Paulo, do you have any questions for Kagoda?
Congrats on P2. Obviously, you almost won the race. But here's the interesting thing to mention. If you discount your battle with Pluto earlier in the race, and if you discount those VSEs, do you think you would have actually beaten Adam Fav in your opinion, or do you think you still wouldn't have got him?
I'm not really sure. I think I definitely could have caught him maybe a bit earlier, which would have given me maybe 2 more laps to have a go. But yeah, Silent was holding me up. I think it was JSR Silent or something. Was holding me up quite a lot in the first stint on the mediums. And then the VSCs were just a bit annoying, but it kind of helped me recharge the ARS as well, so I could go for a bit more power. But I'm not sure if I would have got him if the VSCs didn't happen, but I definitely would have caught him a bit earlier, I think.
Yeah, amazing battle though, I gotta say. That was insane. Especially, like I said, especially for a track like Spain, you would not expect that at all.
Yeah.
And that definitely proves, I mean, I know there's one place to really overtake. We saw, you know, turn 1 be an obvious one, but I kind of saw turn 4 a few times be a place to overtake if you were close enough. We saw after the back straight a place to overtake if you were close enough. But turn 1, obviously, the main place. So, I mean, amazing battle between you two, and hopefully that continues into the future. Congratulations on your P2 finish today and extending that championship lead over Pluto. Now on to you, Pluto. P3. Make sure your audio is included. Pluto, you were in that battle a little while. You were in the battle with Silent them and Kagoda and all that. You battled them. Did you think you had the chance for the race win at all?
Not at all. I wouldn't even say I was in the battle with him. As you can see, I had no pace today. I'm lucky to get P3.
Yeah, I mean, you had the penalty you did. Do you think that could have been avoided? And do you think you could have, if a safety yard came out, do you think you would have had the pace at least at the end? Or at least the 1 lap pace to catch him?
If they didn't pit under safety car, then yeah, but I doubt they would have. So, and yeah, I don't think I could have avoided the penalty. I was driving awful at the start of the race. My brakes felt awful throughout the whole race. But yeah, I guess that's just racing.
How do you expect heading into Tier 1 tomorrow? Because you're expected to race Tier 1 tomorrow if Felipe isn't showing with the way it looks. And you were originally a Tier 1 reserve. So how do you look into tomorrow with how it is?
Well, looking at that race, I don't think it's going to go too well. I think if anyone's behind me who's actually in the title fight, I'm just going to let him through. There's no point in me actually being in the race. But if I'm around like P8, I'll still fight. But I won't like affect the standings too much because I'm not supposed to be there.
Yeah, that is correct. Anyways, point standings, I'm looking at them right now. You came in 19 points behind. At least with Kagoda finishing P2, you're 22 behind now, I believe it is. So it's not too big of a loss, but how do you look into Hungary, Austria, and Britain, the next 3 races?
I think Hungary's going to be a repeat of Spain for me. It's not great. Austria is my best track, so that's where I'm hoping to close the gap. Britain, again, it's not too great for me. So this is a bad stint for me in this season.
Yeah. Anyway, congratulations on P3, and good luck tomorrow on Tier 1. Do you have any questions for him, Paulo, for the P3 finish?
No, I don't. Congrats on P3. Good luck in Tier 1 tomorrow. Hopefully we can battle.
Yeah, I'm going to need it.
Yeah. sure, for sure. Anyway, Polo, a decent race, I'd say that was. I wouldn't say it was the best race, but for the race lead, it definitely was one of the better races.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, like you said, it wasn't the best race. I mean, like the middle patch was a bit boring, but at the end, it got very, very intense. So I wouldn't say this was the best race ever, but this was definitely a good race, and a very solid battle for the race win.
Yeah, I mean, with the way it went today, I think that's the best you'll get for this weekend, because I just don't see Tier 1 being exciting tomorrow. Unless Rapalucas, shines here at Spain, and I mean, we could see it, because Rapalucas is actually pretty good at Spain, and it's one of his best tracks. Boker, it could go either way for him. We've seen last week. Who's the driver of the day sticker? Who do you guys think is the driver of the day sticker? Paulo, who do you think? Who do you think would you give it to? I'd give it to Adam Fav easily for the driver of the day sticker.
Adam Fav, yeah, easily, yeah.
No way.
Considering it's his first one.
No, he's been so unlucky before, and yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call him the unluckiest driver, but he called himself the unluckiest driver in this league before Singapore. He got the podium. He then gone on to have a decent race in Australia, and now goes on for his first win. So, no, it's not biased, Raptor. Oh my God. Either way, though.
No. Something to note. I think Adam Fab is the first Adam to win a league race.
Out of you, yeah.
Yeah.
Out of you, yeah. That's true. That is
yeah,
true.
and it was Adam versus an Irish Mercedes driver.
You were there last season. Mercedes, tier 1 spot as an Irish driver. So obviously, yeah, that's pretty interesting for sure to mention. I'm glad you mentioned that. No, I mean, this is the best I think you'll get this weekend. This race was the midfield battles: Milo Gaming, Riles, Hamilton, Beatnik, just to name a few. Silent was there in the mix. Pluto was there in the mix. There were many people who were there in the mix, but it gone back and forth between people for the whole race. And then by like lap 28, 29, it got really boring in the midfield. And then we had to focus on the front of the field, which we know how good that got, so we had something to focus on. So obviously that was the good part of it. But the thing is, I definitely think that tomorrow, if Rapalucas says he's good at Spain like he is, and Boker, maybe he doesn't have too much issues and has some issues, maybe we have a good race on our hands tomorrow. And even the midfield battles we've seen today, we know how close the midfield is in ARL and tier 1 and tier 2. Tier 1 being the closest, I'd say. So we don't know how it could go. It's really not known. I mean, now with being dynamic weather, you don't know how that could go either. And with the way it is in Spain, Rapalucas is good here. He beat Boker before in DAR. He's beat Boker before here in other leagues too. So we might have a good race on our hands tomorrow. We never know. But I think that's the best you'll get for this weekend. That's the way I think it is. Out of the tier 2 races so far this season, I definitely have to rate that better than Australia. Just slightly with midfield battles. But for the race win, we saw, I think, Pluto and Beatnik. A great battle last week, too. I don't know. I think the battles for the race win, we'll keep seeing more and more of them easily for the front of the field. I mean, if there's a race, I think that would be... I mean, Singapore had the chaos. I don't think there's been a bad tier 2 race this season. I don't think there has been, if I can recall anything. I don't think there has. I don't know about you, Polo, what you think, but I just don't think there's been a bad tier 2 race this season with the way it's gone. I don't know if you've watched any of them over or anything like that, but I don't know which one to call the worst tier 2 race this season.
I don't know, I haven't seen Singapore yet, so I should probably go watch that race. That might have been a good race.
Chaos. There you go, chaos. Non-stop chaos. It was crazy. That's the way it is. That's just crazy. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm literally looking outside, and I think it's actually snowing outside, and I'm not joking. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, tier 1, we're on for a good fight tomorrow for what it looks like. We could easily see some great racing tomorrow with the way it goes. We could easily see, midfield battles pop up again. We saw great midfield battles today. The midfield is going to get the best of it in ARL, but the front of the field also has been one of the best this season in ARL and tier 2. Probably the closest And we saw Australia, probably the best race of Tier 1 so far, last week when Boker didn't win. If Rapalucas, you know, if he says he's that good at Spain, and he's the way he is, maybe we have a good race on our hands. Do you think so?
Yeah, I've done some practice at Spain. I actually look pretty okay. I don't think I'll be up. I'll obviously be up there where Boker and Rapalucas is, but I think there could be good battles in the midfield. I could be, you know, you could be seeing me around 7th, 8th, around there, most of the race, battling in the midfield. Which, honestly, we have probably some of the best midfield. Hopefully there's no controversy like last week. We all know what happened last week.
Yeah, I've got to mention something though before we end the stream. Renault, the Renault team, they it's funny with Utah Elephant Sync, just Dylan Boy and GSL Raptor. Only 2 points have been scored for that team this weekend. You know, does this mean anything that Boker can turn that around, or does this mean anything like Boker doesn't turn it around? What does this mean? What does this all mean?
Boker will turn it around. It's Boker. He's gonna win the race. He's probably gonna win the race, honestly. Because Boker is just absolutely relentless. At Spain, I think he's like 2/10 quicker than everyone.
Oh my god.
Around here.
unless your name is
I don't
Boker.
know.
You never know, though. You never know. I mean, time trial doesn't decide the race. If it did, I mean, I'd be happy, but no, it doesn't decide the race. But hey, we don't know what we could see tomorrow. We could see a wet race, considering this is on dynamic and stuff like that. We don't know. Kagoda says, can't wait to rewatch that one. Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun to rewatch. Great race for sure. Anyways, last thoughts about that race before we end the stream.
Well, intense final few laps, I guess. But again, not the best race I've. You know, you can't always have an incredible race. But yeah, it wasn't that bad. It was a good front battle. A few battles in midfield. There were a few controversial moments, like Utah Elephant and GSR Callum, but other than that, today's race has been very, very decent.
Yeah, it was pretty clean, except for very few incidents I'd say that I know of. Yeah, there was like 2 or 3 that I could think of, but besides that, this has probably been one of the more cleaner Tier 2 races though so far, so I'm happy about that. Anyways, that's really about it. Tomorrow, make sure you tune in for Spain, another race sponsored by Silent Designs. Again, tomorrow. Milo Gaming joins me in the booth for that one. And we should see you all there. Anyways, tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern, Sunday, 5 p.m. UK, at Spain for Tier 1. And we should see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. And we will see you guys tomorrow.